drive and it's AC friendly. Alright, so this video is going to have a lot of talking, so if you're not interested in what I'm going to say, might as well just skip to the next video. I know the second video is going to have more video than talking, but this video is going to be a lot of talking and some explanation. Only because if I put both videos together, I feel like it's going to be like a 40-minute video and it's just going to get boring. So, from the beginning. So if you guys remember, before the channel went down, there was a video where I explained how I had opened my mouth sometime in 2019 and said that I wanted to build a new race car, which was FRS. Don't ask me why. I just thought it was going to be cool to build an FRS. You don't really see a whole lot of them drag racing, so I thought it'd be cool, you know. So we went out looking for one. We couldn't really find just a shell, so I kind of gave up on that. And then Christmas comes around, and somehow there was an FRS in storage that Santa Claus, aka my old lady, somehow put in there without there being a chimney. So I don't know how that worked out, but Santa Claus dropped off a big present in a storage building with no chimneys. So anyways, I ended up getting a shell. I'll drop a little clip of that somewhere in here.
I am.
Look! How dirty! Where's it at? Then you find out you just forgot to turn the key to the lock.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. No, you didn't.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I like this.
It's got 979 miles on it. Very straight from what we can see. Motor runs, transmission runs.
Did you get this from Jose? You did, huh?
His dad gave a deal I couldn't resist. Well, Jose talked him into it. I'll tell you, we got it for a lot less than they paid for it. A lot less.
The only thing we need to get back is the motor and tranny, that's it. Which you don't need.
No. But every interior part, it's pretty much brand new. The plastic is still on the trim pieces. And open the trunk. No, well, from the inside.
Well, I think we need battery for
Does it
that.
have a...
Even for the, oh yeah, it does.
Does it?
Does it keep on?
You need to,
It has no
you
keyboard?
need a jumper.
Battery there? What is it? No, this thing is there. We don't got no jumper cable, so.
The headlights are in the front. So, I mean, at this point, it's your choice on what you want to part out, what you'll need to get rid of, and when you want to start building it for December Vegas.
You have the new headlights?
So Jose's brother was going to fix it. He bought the headlights. He bought the steering wheel with the everything. He sold it to me for $100 extra. He said, sell them, make some money off of this for the new build, whatever you want to do. He goes, at this point, it's for Luis, and you pretty much can part out what he doesn't need and make back all the money on the car. That's all. So you've been looking for a shell that didn't hardly cost anything, and this is it.
I don't know what to say. So I ended up getting a shell, and the plan was to make that car 100% legal to where it could go eights and not have to worry about safety or anything like that. Then I started looking into what it was going to take to make that car to go eights, and what put me at a standstill was the rear end. There's no support on those things for the rear end, and I knew I was going to start breaking those things, and the only way to go was to do a solid rear end conversion, which that was no big deal. Eventually I was going to get to it. It just meant obviously it was going to cost a lot of money, and I just didn't know how long it was going to take me before we could get that car to where I wanted it to be. So I kind of lost a little bit of interest in it when the 240 decided to go eights in Vegas 2020. We went to the finals. The car made the pass of its life. It went like 8-9 at like 156, 150 something. And at that point, I was like, whoa, this car is just not ready to go out of commission yet. So that's when I was kind of like not ready to stop with this car, because I knew it still had a little bit more in it. So I kind of decided I wanted to keep going with the 240 for now. And the FRS has just been sitting in the trailer at the secret compound ever since. So after all that happened, I decided I just kind of wasn't ready to let the 240 go. We went and did a couple more events. We ended up winning Bakersfield finally, the home track. Ended up going against a couple fast cars. We ended up coming up on top. Brought a trophy home. I don't know if you can see it. So on that last run, the car decided to go 8.6 at 163, which that's the fastest the car's ever gone. So the safety people were kind of pissed off, and they were like, you know, this car's going way too fast for the safety equipment that you have. You need more safety equipment. Daniel got yelled at. At the end of where I got my time slip, they told me that the car just was going too fast. So even though we did some safety updates on it, it's still not where it needs to be. So I started looking for another 240 shell. I don't want to cut the 240 shell because it's a really nice shell, like I said before, and I just don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut that shell. I want to try to keep it because we have maybe other plans for it in the future. The car's not going to go anywhere. It's still going to stay around. It just might be set up a little bit different. So I started looking for a shell. Nobody in California has them for a decent price. Everybody wants an arm and a leg. I don't need a full running car. I just needed a shell. Found one in Mississippi. I was about to make a freaking 35-hour drive. One way, not even back, just one way. To pick up a shell that I had found over there, complete shell. It came with a bunch of extra parts. So after I got back, I was going to sell some of the parts, and I was going to make up for some of the money that I was going to spend on gas. Transporter wasn't going to bring it because it didn't have brakes and it didn't have the steering column. Everything was there, it just wasn't installed. So that kind of went out the window once I found that out. So my plan was to just drive out there and pick it up, even though I knew it was a dumb idea. And I had found this other shell up in Oregon, and I hit up the dude. He didn't reply, so I was kind of like, maybe he sold it already, because for the price that it was listed, I thought it was a decent price. It wasn't a great price, it was a decent price. So I hit him up, didn't reply. Then my other buddy found another Civic that he wanted to get up in Sacramento. So knowing that we were going up north, I had decided to hit the guy up again and see if he still had the shell. And the second time around, he replied. So I was all like, oh, shoot. I think I found the perfect candidate for what we're trying to do. So we ended up leaving Friday. After work. Took off, drove all night, got out there Saturday morning, picked up that car, made our way back down. and picked up the second car in Sacramento, or actually it's right outside of San Jose. So we got that, drove back to Bakersfield, and we were back home by 2 in the morning Saturday. So we pretty much drove for like, I don't know, 36 hours straight, I think. So yeah, we now have another shell. I don't know how long this is gonna take till we are able to get this car going, but it's definitely a start. We now have another shell that's gonna have everything in place that needs to be in place. At this point, there's no point of doing an 8.5 cage because the car's like 1/10 of a second from being there. 2/10. So there's really no point of doing an 8.5. We're gonna have to go down to a 7.5, which means maybe cutting the floor pan and doing all the tubing down there and all that stuff. So like I said, I don't know exactly when this car's gonna be ready, but I think you guys are gonna like where this is going. Still an S14, still gonna be a 2J. Everything from the blue car is gonna go over to this new car. Like I said, the blue car's not going anywhere. That car just has too much sentimental value. After I got home with the other cage, or with the other shell, I walked in the garage I was grabbing something, and I looked at that car and I was like, am I really doing the right move by doing this? And I got a little sad, but you know, I think that car already did what it needed to do. It already got us this far. It has 4 trophies under its belt, so we'll never be able to take that away from that. And I think that car obviously is going to stay with us, but I think it'll serve good with other plans that we have for it. May or may not include a twin turbo LS. And this new car is going to be pretty much the next episode of us racing, or I don't know if I want to call it episode or the next phase, I guess you can say. So pretty much everything that we're planning on doing on the FRS, there's actually someone that makes solid rear ends for this car. So it'll be a lot easier to do what we needed to do, and obviously cost effective, or cost wise it'll be more effective to go this route. Like I said, I don't know when this is gonna happen, but it's coming. Just know that if you guys thought the blue car was cool and it's fast, just wait for what we have planned. We want to get into the small tire racing because there's a lot of people following that right now, and obviously, you know, we like racing and all that stuff, so we're going to be 660 Mafia too. We're going to try that small tire. We're going to put the car in a bigger tire. Right now it's in a 27. We're going to go to 28.5. I think it's 28.5 or 28. I don't remember. And we may have to do a little bit more work on the suspension, obviously, and the engine to get it to be competitive. But where we're at right now, it's a pretty good start. Basically, where this car is going to take over, it's already going to be at a good starting point. So all the stuff that we learned on this car, we're going to transfer it right over to the other car. So we're not going to start from the beginning like we did with the blue one. The blue one started running like 11/8, and right now we're in the 8-second territory. So I think all the stuff that we learned, we'll be able to put it into this car and just keep moving forward from here. So the FR is not going anywhere either, not yet at least. Still sitting in the secret compound. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, this might have to be 2 videos because there's a lot of talking. Unless I can make it all in under like a 30-minute video, then I put it all together. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. And off to Oregon we go. Here we are, our first diesel stop. I had to stop and get diesel already. Guys, diesel in California is really expensive. I put $100 and I don't think I'm gonna get a full tank. Anyways, look over the trailer real quick. So this video, Jesus, that was $100? Yep, that was $100. Oh, 96. We'll get the extra $4. Make sure we check our tires, make sure they're still good. Always check your bearings, make sure they're not overheating. Nope, we're good. So we're actually on our way out of state. This is our first fuel stop, and I will show you guys why. We're actually picking up 2 vehicles, but you guys won't really see this for a while. That one's a little bit warm. Not bad. All right, I think we're good. So let's hit the road. We're gonna drive actually all night, and we'll pick up when we get over there or when we get another stop. All right, let's hit the road.
Proceed for 67 miles on I-5.
Second stop for fuel. It's, what time is it right now? Like 10 o'clock at night. We still got another forever to go. What do we get for dinner when everything's closed and we can go to a drive-thru? A really expensive Subway with like 2 ingredients and what was it, Jacob? Unfriendly customer service.
Unfriendly customer service.
All right, so we're gonna keep going. We got about another 20 million hours to go, and we'll do an update here in about another 3 hours. What is this, like number 5 fill up? And it is freaking cold. 48 degrees. We're here in Oregon now. It's actually, you can actually pump your own gas here. Most of the other places, they showed up and they pumped gas for you or whatever, which was kind of weird, but it's 5 in the morning. We got about 2 hours, actually 6. Got about 2 hours before we meet up with the guy. So let's get filled up. Gas is actually cheaper here. When I grow up, I want to live in a place like this. Except that it has places to turn around, because we just drove like 10 minutes the opposite way to find a spot to make a U-turn. When you have that big old thing behind you. But we're like 0.3 miles away. We just need to figure out where we're going to be able to park the truck out of the way. And there's a car coming behind us. God dang it. All right, so we found this bucket on the side of the road, and we just decided to pick it up.
Bucket number 1.
Yeah, bucket number 1. Now we got to load it up. All right. Mission 1 completed. Now back to California we go. By the way, pretty cool out here. As long as this shit don't move like that video, Jacob. Remember that video we were watching? Baby said I'm putting in work today. This is, what stop is this? Like number 6?
Number 6.
Ah, so we're probably already like $600 in fuel
So far.
Oh, the tires are still good. Quick inspection. Make sure everything's still tied in. So guys, we already went all the way to Oregon, right outside of Portland, to pick up the first car. Right now we're gonna go to right outside of Sacramento or San Jose, I don't remember, somewhere around there, to pick up the second car. So we still got quite a ways to go. Truck's doing good. There's a lot of hills up and down. Tell you what, Oregon's a real beautiful state, but the homeless population is kind of like California. It's just crazy. So, but as you can see, this is pretty much what we've been seeing the whole time we've been here. So we're gonna fill up, get a Red Bull, and then keep on trucking, because we still got about another 3 hours till we get back to the second location. We're gonna pick up the Civic and then head back to Bakersfield. So let's keep on trucking. I owe you $3 actually.
It'll fill up.
Fill up number fucking 7. So I think now we're at like $800, $700 in fuel. Driving all the way to Oregon, and fucking like 3 or 4 of those. This thing is fucking hating life right now. Going up to Oregon with all the hills. So bucket number 2, it's in the truck. We're gonna go check the straps because I had to slam on the brakes earlier, so we need to make sure it's still good. And We didn't film anything because we always pick up stuff at the sketchiest places, and the neighbors happened to be pulling up. There was nobody there when we got there, and then when we started loading up, the neighbors happened to start pulling up, and we're all in the way, and there was only room for like 2 cars in the freaking truck. So we'll get some video of it unloading it. Thanks, California. So here we have bucket 1 and bucket number 2. This is 2000. Straps are all good. Civic Si, original EM1. It's gonna need some work, but for what he picked it up for, it's not bad at all. So this is bucket number 2. Now we got everything loaded up, and we're gonna head back to Bakersfield. So day 1. Engine bay, we got it all cleaned up, plugged in injectors, a couple of sensors, and we're gonna see if we can jump it right now. You wanna know why it's got no power? Because we hooked it up to the battery and your cables aren't hooked up. Hold on, is that normal?
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay. So it's making noises, that's always good. It's not going all the way?
It's stopping at the 1.
Basic Honda Civic Hotwire 101.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing?
No.
Does it have an alarm?
Let me take it out. Accessory.
Okay, right here. Yeah.
It should be unlocked. Lock the accessory.
Yeah? No? All right, run position, test number 1. Give it some gas on the throttle.
Oh, I think it probably doesn't have gas.
All right, ready? One more time. It's getting weak. Now the jumper's getting weak.
Oh, yeah?
Attempt number 2 of will it run to neutral?
Yep.
Nope. I don't think it's close enough. I'm gonna get it real close. Just watch yourself because it will shock the fuck out of you. Oh.